Alright, 94 C280. I'm going to replace the coils, and I thought I'd go ahead and do the valve cover gasket as well. That's what it looks like on the inside after the valve cover has been taken off. And essentially you've got various bolts along the side, and there's several in the middle as well. Make sure you get those. And here's the coil packs and the valve cover. Here's all the used ones, and I've got some new ones ready to go in right now. So not too bad. Pretty easy. I'm a novice, I would say. I just kind of was careful to remove. There's like 2 screws here, one here, and one back here for the wiring harness. Just kind of gently lift it out of the tracks that are in here, and then back here. And then, of course, this goes to your spark plugs, coils as well. So just be careful taking it out and take your time, and make sure you get new grommets. So, oh, by the way, right, so as I was taking these out, make sure that when you're going to do your valve cover gasket, these bolts here have these grommets on them, and they get really brittle. Some of them are probably just going to snap in half, but just something to think about when you're taking those out. Get a set of these as well. I think I got 12 for all of mine. So, alright, have fun. I'll let you know what it looks like when I'm done. Okay, back again. Hey, I took some time to just clean up around the gasket area. Just clean this up real good with a rag. And then since I'm here, I'm going to go ahead and change out the spark plugs. And it's the easiest time to reach them anyway. And I'm going to use some Bosch. They should be pre-gapped, but if they don't come gapped, you need to make sure you're gapping them correctly, depending on your car. Mine comes at 0.32, and so I'm going to go with that. I got a gapper if I need it, but here's what it looks like so far. I also spent time cleaning up the other side of the valve cover, just getting in that groove and just really cleaning it out in that groove as best I could. You could probably use some solvent if you want, but I think you don't want to have any oil film in there because you want to have a really decent seal on it. At least that's what I'm reading anyway. Anyway, thanks. We'll be back as I put the spark plugs in, and then I'll go ahead and put the valve cover back on and put some new coil packs in and wires. Alright, got the plugs in, so you can see. Not a problem. Just snuck them in there and hand tightened them, and then put a wrench on them, and just, you're supposed to do it at like 28 nanometers if you've got a torque wrench, but I just put it in there good and tight, but not too tight, just snug, and maybe just a smidge more, so no big deal there. Sometimes what's frustrating to me is that if the socket comes off while you're trying to remove it after tightening. So I just tape that bad boy down with some electrical tape till I'm done, and I take it off, and that way I'm not spending frustrating time trying to get that thing out. It's kind of a hassle, kind of pesky, but that's the way I do it anyway. Alright, carry on. I'm going to go ahead and get the valve cover gasket put together, and then cinch that down. Okay, hey, side note, had an issue. I was looking at the gasket set, and I had a couple of these things in there, and I was like, I don't know what these are, but I did have a drawing here, and the drawing says that they should be coming out, kind of back in here area. So they did not come off with the cover gasket, but where I did find them was in the back, so it's kind of a blind reach. And there's a little dip back here and another one right back in here, and pulled those bad boys out, and I'm going to install them right now. There goes one. Let's make sure it sits in there real good. It's a piece of cake, that one, and this one. Make sure I'm not using the old ones. Probably the worst thing that you could probably do would be to drop it in the back, which I may manage to avoid. Okay, so that's sitting flush. Appears to be. And then this one is as well. Alright, so fit those bad boys in before you put the cover back on. I put the gasket on and I just kind of pressed it in all the way around real gently, and it seems to fit really well. And then you put in the spark plug hole gaskets as well. Cool, I'm going to put it on. Alright, valve cover gasket and valve cover is back on. Put all new grommets on every one of these bolts that you see down here. And went ahead and tightened them up. I crisscrossed. I started in the back and then I went crisscross and then back over again, and I did it probably 3 times and get them, you know, not super tight, right? So snug, and you know, I didn't crank it down at all. I just kind of got them all snug until they all kind of just a nice little all the way across. Again, going in an alternating pattern, including these middle ones. Don't forget those too, because those are the ones that mash down your spark plug gasket holes. In any case, so I'll continue on putting the wires in, and I'll be back. Okay there, hey, I wanted to show you the coils that I'm going to be putting in. These are replacement Bosch coils that I'm going to be putting into the top of these. And you have to, I've got 3 of them, right? One for every 2 cylinders. And then I got these boots came with the spark plug kit, which is kind of cool, the wire kit, but typically you got to buy these separately. So those will just go on the bottom here, and those will sit right on the plug. And so I'll go ahead and install those into the proper holes, right? You've got a coil in cylinder number 2 and number 4 and number 6. And that's where the coil packs will go, and then the wires with just plug boots go into 1, 3, and 5. So I'll show you what that looks like when I'm done. Alright, got the coil packs in, put the boots on, and then slammed them in here. You got to make sure they're in the right orientation, because there's a stud here that's electrical connection, so you want to make sure that's there. And then that flips around and it's over here. And then this back one is back over here, so flip-flopped. And I went ahead and put the main cable back on, the wiring harness back in its trough, and then hooked up the connections here to the wiring harness. So I'm going to go over here and grab these the rest of these wires. What's cool is that I've got a wiring diagram right here. So wiring goes 1 to 6, 2 to 5, and then 3 to 4. So it should be pretty easy. So I'll finish up here shortly. Alright, wires are in. As you can see, we got 1 goes out to 6, and 2 goes to 5, and then 3 to 4. So there we go. Looking good. I'm going to pop the cover on, and then put my mass airflow back on with my tube over the top. Hook it up to the throttle body right there, and be good to go. Hopefully it'll start. Alright, everything's back on. I'm going to crank it up and see if it works. I think I got everything on there. You can hear it going through its diagnostics. Yeah, go. That sounds a lot better than it did. So good deal. Alright, success.